Hey guys, so today what I'm going to do is actually connect this Cool Zone brew jacket thing that I got to my Stasis glycol chiller. So I was looking for a solution to basically use the Stasis system with my other fermenters because like I have the catalyst that has the stainless steel coil that goes into it, but it's a little bit of a hassle when you're trying to transfer because you kind of have to keep all the glycol connected, like lifting it up onto another surface. So I was looking for something that didn't need me to basically drill holes into all my fermenter lids. So I found this actually on Craft Brew's website, and it is essentially just a jacket that goes around any fermenter, and it's pretty wide. It fits around every fermenter I have. So I'm going to put it together today because I'm brewing tomorrow. So basically how this works is the glycol comes in through here and just fills this area. All the white part is not attached, so the glycol will sit in there. You can use this for water too. So if you've got a pump and like a cool bucket of water, it's a good way to keep the temperature stable. The water you have to change though, and like if you don't have temperature control on the water, then what's the point really? At least in LA where it's like 90 degrees constantly. So I'm using it with my glycol chiller, and now I have to put it together. I ended up buying some 3/8 inch inner diameter? Yeah, inner diameter tubing. The brew jacket came with like much larger tubing that wouldn't fit with the Stasis. So essentially the hardest part about this is actually going to be connecting these barbs, like they're just like tube extenders, to this, because this is slightly smaller, even though they're both supposed to be 3/8 inch inner diameter. I don't know. But basically I've got probably got about 8 feet. I've got 2 hoses about 8 feet long. I put on these barbs just because you guys don't need to see me futzing with that. So these ends will go onto the ends here. This is what I've already got connected with the catalyst. The top is the input and the bottom is the output. So essentially this will push out glycol into the jacket, and this will take it back in and rechill it. Okay, so what we have to do first is connect this. I've got some boiling water here. I'm just going to soften these tubes up a bit, so hopefully I can get them together. Gonna always make sure your hose clamps are already on your thing, or you will be sad because then you have to undo all the work you've done. I just put this neoprene jacket on. The glycol has a tendency to sweat a bit, so this helps a little. I mean, technically I should have it all the way down, but I don't. And the way the jacket figures out like how cool you need to be is you take one of these thermal wells that goes actually in through your, I'll open it. This goes in through the bung hole. So this tube fits a thermometer, which is actually already attached. It's right here. And so we're going to drop that into our beer, and then the airlock goes in this other hole. So, like that. Very easy. Alright, so that should be all loosened. So, basically, the connector we're going to use is one of these 3/8 inch brass ones I got at a hardware store. I have lots of connections happening. So, at this rate, it doesn't matter which tube connects to what side. Okay, so don't forget your hose clamps. Don't put them on the wrong side and then think you have them on already, because you won't. Okay. So if you're ever having trouble, this might be just common knowledge at this rate, but I do know people who do not know how to properly put on tubes. Heat them up. It makes it so much easier. A lot of the tubing I use will never go on the valves I fit it on unless I like heat it up to about boiling. There it is. All right, that one went on way easier. Okay, so I'm just going to tighten these hose clamps and then we can actually connect it. This is the inlet, so we need to make sure that this side of the hose goes into the bottom of the Stasis chiller. So I'm just going to follow this hose through and pop it on. I'm actually going to write in on it. Inlet, so this needs to I'm writing inlet on it. I'm writing out on this. So basically we have to connect this inlet to the outlet on the Stasis and then the outlet to the inlet on the Stasis, because this is pushing glycol out and into the Stasis, and the Stasis is pushing glycol out and into the brew jacket. I don't like working with glycol, it makes me nervous. So glycol out to brew in, and then the outlet to the inlet to the outlet. All right. Okay, so the Stasis is off right now, but I am going to turn it on so you guys can actually see it working. It's kind of funny. It's really cool to see the glycol actually doing its job, but with the stainless steel coil, you really can't see it like moving through the system. And I'm also going to just give my glycol a little refill while we're here. It's been a while, so it's 2 parts distilled water to 1 part glycol. So I've got 600 milliliters of distilled water here. I'm going to add 300 milliliters of glycol. And we're just going to pour it in super slow. And I'm going to put a towel so that I don't get a mess. All right, so it looks like we've got to start pumping it before it'll let me put the rest in. Okay, so putting my cap back on. I'm actually a little nervous. Now I'm just going to turn on the Stasis. So to turn it on, basically, you have to hit select. So we're doing number 2. Number 2 is cool brew jacket. So let's do 50 degrees. Of course I didn't hit it. And then on. So besides some air bubbles that I'm sure will make its way out, this is good to go. It's completely filled and it's cool and not leaking, which is the main thing. That's awesome. The way it wraps around fermenter is like so. It's just Velcro. Cool. All right, so this is what's going to keep my India Pale Lager cold. tomorrow. It's awesome. Well, thanks for watching. If you have problems with temperature control in your brewery, this might be an option you want to check out. This thing wasn't that expensive. I want to say it was no more than $60, but I really don't remember. I bought it a while ago, like beginning of quarantine, and then kind of left and didn't do anything with it. But it's really reasonable. So, like, definitely more than getting another stainless steel coil and everything. So, check it out. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. So, I ended up buying some 3/8". Ugh. What am I doing? I put those on the wrong side. Shit. Ah! Oh, we got a shit ton of tubing happening. This one seems to not work. It's a piece of shit. Inlet to outlet, I believe. Double checking. Nope, I was wrong.